Me, I know the cap. Me, I know the form. My energy is high. What the?
Hello, guys. Good day to you all. My name is Crypto Cube. I like the intro music. My energy is high. So yesterday I went driving a friend 663 AMG, and wow, the energy was very high. So we have to come back, then try to make this money. And the only way we know how to make this money is by trading. So we have to get the energy very, very high. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. When you see something like this, it's a nice car. When you see something like this, not just the car being the best, but the engine. Wow, V8 by turbo. That means you have to get your energy very high. And when you want to be able to afford something like this, then you surely want to get down with trading. You want to take this as a job, not just as an hobby. Taking trading as an hobby is fine, but then the seriousness you need is not actually there. So you have to be serious with it. You have to take it as a job. There is a lot of money to be made in trading, and it does happen. God has given us the knowledge in which we can use, execute this in the market, and be able to make something decent out of it. We are making money, we are buying decent cars, but I personally, I haven't owned an AMG. The Mercedes is not my preference. I am rather with the Porsche, Panamera, Cayennes, the Bentley. But this Mercedes, the V8 by turbo, wow, with the crazy sound, wow, no soft limiter on it, so it's highly nice. It was fun driving. Anyway, that's that. So let's get down to business. So let us all get our energy high. Let us try and dedicate our time and be serious with what we do. This is the only way we know to make good and decent money. So let's take it serious. All right. So I am just following up with what I did a day before. The video on market structure and supply and demand. Not actually supply and demand, but market structure, a lot of waves, Fibonacci, and a bit of supply and demand. But today, I just want to show you something more on what's it called? Let me mute my computer. I want to show you something on market structure and why I personally do not trade support and resistance, but supply and demand. So I was going through the FTS Africa group, and I came across this chart posted by a member there, Yakuza or something. So Yakuze, Ayuze. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. So credit to him. No, I shouldn't be taking a shot without getting your permission, but then I spotted something and I just wanted to use it to teach people something that I've been saying all along. Using only my chart, people might think I'm rigging or something. So this was a good opportunity for me to use this, your chart, and explain something in detail to people, my people. So thank you for posting this chat, and sorry if I've done anything wrong. So the chart goes, I posted the chart and said lunar update. Price is looking good for long. So let me open this and let's see. Okay, let me open it on the other one. So just blah 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 that I wrote in the graph. So this FTA graph, blah 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 blah. Then this was where I really explained what I think the owner of the chart has done. You can also see it below. So the price was coming down. We had a support at this point. Price went up, then price came and it broke the support. So support broken turns resistance, right? And I'm trying to get rid of this not speech. So the support was broken and then it turned resistance, and it became a confirmed resistance at this point. Normally, I used to say, when you see a support like this that is just one touch, then you do not want to take it, as you do not want to anticipate a second support until it has shown you it is ready to use that as support. But then it broke down and confirmed it as resistance. Support broken turns to resistance. Now, price came back down all the way again after finding support at this particular point here. I think my mouse is making this. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to, let me see. No, that's download. I don't know how to get rid of this. I want to show you this. So if you can just manage and see this with what I've written on this. So the price came down and then this became the new resistance, right? If you are to go by what happened at this point, we have marked one. It is supposed to hold as resistance, right? So price came back here. I'm looking at the edge of the Boston view. It acted as resistance for sure. You could have said this is a resistance, then here was resistance. But then will he be taking profit at this marked low? This, after this feeling, this was the lowest low made, except he was capping. I don't think he will have taken profit at this point. But then it seems the trader who has this chart wasn't willing, thank God it has removed. So the trader wasn't willing to short the market. He was willing to wait for a break of this new resistance and expecting it to turn to support. If that happens, then it is likely to form something like an head and shoulder, right? So we had a clean break. It has come back. We had a clean break of this resistance zone with this candle. We have a decent close above of the resistance. And once you have a clean break like this, then it is supposed to turn to support, right? Then we had, sometimes we wait for two confirmations. Sometimes some people, after this close, they just go long. Some people wait for the next candle to close and then they go long. So it waited for this other candle, I believe, to close. And thankfully, it closed as green. It even made an higher high to this past one, and it closed above of the resistance, which means it is now a confirmed support. And if you look at those two arrows, the two arrows below the doji candle, that signifies that the trader went long on that particular candle. And if you look at the time frame on this particular chart, it is a 1 hour chart. So I cannot exactly tell at what point the seller had gone long, or the seller opened, the trader, opened the long. Probably on close of this 1 hour candle, or probably during the course of this 1 hour candle. Then if you look at the candle to the right, you can see the candle formed as a red candle. It closed as a red candle. If it has closed at this point, there is no timer here, so I can't exactly tell what time it took this screenshot. So it's formed as a red candle. And if you are not considering this wick to the bottom and wick to the top, then you will say it is a bearish engulfing candle. I personally will not regard this engulfing candle. There are reasons why I want in my price action video. But then the idea was the trader went long and then probably he closed the position after seeing this red candle. I cannot tell the cause or the time exactly when he closed it, but this red arrow signifies that there is a short order, and after a long order, any short order should be closing of position. So I guess the trader closed that position. And why? After he spotted a long. If you have a long and your bias is bullish and your bias is long, a tiny red candle can just give you a 1 hour candle and the next candle will be green. It does happen. It does happen. So let me try and read what I wrote under that. And I said, obviously, the trader trades support and resistance. Definitely. I have marked the first broken support and resistance and confirmed as one. I mean confirmed here as confirmed resistance after the support was broken. Then we have the second one, mark 2. That is that one. If trader has shorted the market at the first touch of resistance, that is this first touch here, then where I lined, okay, this line, you could have taken profit at that low if scalping, that means at this particular low. But instead, of shorting by virtue of those arrows, these arrows, it seemed like trader went long after break of that resistance and two closes above of it. More like longing after the second candle close. Just guessing. Then the red candle, then the red arrow on that red candle suggests short. So probably then close the position after red candle formed. But what can we see from the chart itself if we are to analyze with supply and demand and market structure? So this was where I did my own. Let me first read this. I don't know how to waste time. So I personally, this is what I would have done. I see a move down, then move up, then move down. Support and resistance trader spotted a break of resistance and a signal to go long. I still see a signal to short. Why? Now, in my last lesson, yesterday or 2 days ago now, I discussed market structure. When you see series of higher highs and higher lows, that signifies bullish structure. Then series of lower lows and lower highs signifies bearish structure, right? But in this case, what can we see? Let me use my highlight too. So I don't know if it's bold or... So in this case, we see these highs, we see another highs here, which are lower highs. I don't know if that black is viewable. So we see these highs, which is lower. This one is also lower. This low is lower. This low is lower. This low is lower. So what do we have here? We have what's it called? We have a bearish market structure. And that is why I have drawn this arrow down, move up, move down. Bearish market structure. And this was the last high that led to the last low. So this is our major highs, and by virtue of that, it is our invalidation high. High to take out. Once we close above of this high, then buyers has flipped to bullish buyers on this 1 hour time frame. So what happened? Because that is our invalidation high, I have a supply zone at this point where I have marked with white line. And then this was where the trader went long, right? Just under supply zone. Resistance has a broken and he believed it should turn to support, right? And the price will go all the way high. But then he is just longing under supply zone. Then what happened? After that, what happened? Okay, this was where I went into my chart. And then what did I say? This was a resistance that, the support that broke and turned to resistance where it drew. This was the other support turned to resistance where it drew. This was where I said it could have shorted and taken profit here if it was capping. Then this was my supply zone. And this is an invalidation high. And what can we see? We saw that price came into the supply zone, dropped down, which means if he had long on this candle, this particular doji candle, and he has his stops, let me quickly mark this like this, and he has a stop loss just below, let me use red, and he has a stop loss, this is a long candle, and he has a stop loss just below that entry candle. This candle here, or this one, will have taken out a stop if it didn't manually close out on the next red candle. And looking at the close of this candle now, as I'm saying it, that shows that when he stopped himself out, it wasn't the close of that candle. So even maybe if he had seen this before he closed that trade, probably he would have left the trade, and probably was capping, I can't tell. So if he has to stop here as a support and resistance trader after longing, after support resistance has been broken, this move here or this move here will have taken the stop out. And then what happened? Another bullish close above of that resistance. This again is giving some traders, support and resistance traders, the mindset that wow, this is just a stop on, and now the price is ready to fly up. Some people will be longing after the close of this particular candle here. They'll be going long heavily now because this has haunted stops. So this shouldn't unstop anymore. But then this is another confirmation that this supply is going to hold. Price came back into it, but I don't think it quite touched it. Just came just a bit under the zone. And what do we see? We see a proper bearish engulfing candle. And after this proper bearish engulfing candle, which is then giving a confirmation entry to people who haven't gone short at this point, because some people are waiting for confirmation. Then you have an entry, a drop down, another entry, then confirmation, which then means what is it called? Structure has broken on a lower time frame. But this didn't go higher than this, but we could have seen a low leading to the higher high taken out. We could have seen it taken out by this move here. So this was a short and an engulfing candle. Then this became another new entry. Price came back into it and the price drops. I do not know, maybe price will then reverse to clear these zones, or price will just continue going down. That is just what we have to see. So this is the reason why I do not just trade support and resistance. We have the resistance here expected to turn to support after close of all these candles. It didn't, because supply was just above. So many times, if you are even shorting this market here, you short here and you're expecting price to go way lower, and then you have your stop just above. This move here into supply will hunt you out. That is why many times people get stop hunted, and then they complain that the market is being manipulated and hunting their stops. And this is what I have written about it. You can just read that up. I do not want to waste too much time here. You can just read that up. So that is it on what I wanted to show you about trading. What's it called? This is a chart here. Oh, I guess it was on the 1 hour. This is a chart here. So this was his first broken support stone resistance. This was the second one, and this was where I had the the supply. Then move into it. Let me give this thing border. I don't know if you can actually see that. I give it a border. Where can I give it border? Sometimes this thing, I don't even know where the border is again. It's like we're going to, okay, that yellow is okay, you can see it now. That is a line. We just have a little trip inside of it. Then this move again, bearish. Okay, price is coming back down now. As price is coming back down, what is our expectation? Our expectation is this, right? Where is this to? This is our expectation. We have a move down here, move up, move down, move up, move down, move up, then another move down, then move up. So what are we expecting? We're expecting price to at least come to this low. This move up is not enticing, so we are at least price to make a lower low. That is our expectation. But then this was our invalidation. If price from this low makes a new low lower than this high here will become the invalidation. And the move up at this point was not a decent move up. It was a channeled move up, so it doesn't even look enticing. And apart from that, I use the closest of data to draw my own distance. So this was a rising wedge, and as you can see, the price was rising. There is one thing I just spotted right now. From this point, look at the volume, the blue volumes were decreasing, and this is the formation BTC is having on the daily right now. Prices are moving up, but the volume are decreasing, and that doesn't look good in any way. So that is it, guys. Hope we can always learn one or two and guide ourselves to the path of money making. And then don't forget, my name is Crypto Keep. Then let us get our energy high. Alright, guys, see you next time. Thank you for watching.